Caliber was born during a time of growth. We started a connection, a community where opportunities met people. Through the years, 5 million job seekers have trusted us. More than 8,000 companies have believed in us. But in the past year, our world changed completely. Millions of people lost their livelihood. Companies took drastic measures to survive. Everything we thought we knew became different. But we won't stop. We will continue to fulfill our mission of enabling companies to hire the best talents and helping job seekers find meaningful careers. Our recruitment platform has already empowered millions of people, but we continue to evolve. This is a new beginning. This is the new Caliber. Join us in the future of work. Partner with us in the future of work. Win with us in the future of work. Caliber was born during a time of growth. We started a connection, a community where opportunities met people. Through the years, 5 million job seekers have trusted us. More than 8,000 companies have believed in us. But in the past year, our world changed completely. Millions of people lost their livelihood. Companies took drastic measures to survive.
Good morning, everyone. Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord. Let us pray. Dear Most High Father in all heaven, we come to you in solemn prayer as your children and servants. Our hearts desire to be kind and be of pure intention. More importantly, be of sincere service to every Filipino worker, just as Jesus served mankind. Today, as we commence our Linking Jobs and Job Seekers in a Digital Age webinar, we thank you for the path that led us all here, all the preparations, combined excitement and anxieties, the labor and time that everybody has lovingly offered for today's event. We now, with complete confidence in your power and sovereignty, entrust and surrender everything in your hands and humbly ask for your guidance. We humbly pray for your showers of blessing, strength, and inspiration to all the hosts, moderators, participants, attendees, and to everyone who made this event possible. Father, may your redeeming love and care fill our hearts with peace and understanding. May you shine the Holy Spirit to envelop us in safety and good health. We praise you and your holy name for this fellowship and learning opportunity. We thank you for the outpouring of your endless mercies. We glorify you and all that you are in our lives. We implore for your forgiveness for our trespasses and shortcomings. Grant us the Holy Spirit in helping renew and cleanse our hearts every day. In all of this, we ask and pray in the name of our Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the 2022 ILS webinar series titled Linking Jobs and Job Seekers in a Digital Age. I am Sean Pablico from the Employment Research Division of the Institute for Labor Studies, the policy research and advocacy arm of the Department of Labor and Employment. And I will be your host for today's webinar. Allow me also to take this opportunity to welcome our participants tuned in live via Facebook. Annually, the Institute conducts a number of policy researches that are both timely and relevant to today's world of work. Alongside these researches, the Institute also conducts policy advocacies such as what we have today right now to expand and encourage policy discourse and exhaust all means of social dialogue towards improving the policies and programs of the Department of Labor and Employment. Today, we will hear insights from top caliber digital labor market intermediaries on how they make a difference in linking jobs to job seekers, especially in a digital age. We have invited Caliber and Recruit Day to shed some light on what they do as a tech firm in digitally facilitating jobs in the Philippine labor market. To welcome us to this webinar, help me welcome OIC Executive Director 3, Jeanette T. Damo. Ida Jing.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay, my dear colleagues in the Department of Labor and Employment, our tripartite partners and friends, isa pong mapagpalang umaga sa ating lahat and welcome to our webinar on linking jobs and job seekers in a digital age. So the subject matter of our learning session this morning is indeed apt, very interesting, and timely. Digitalization has pervaded all facets of our human lives, including the efficient and I think the fastest way to find a job that would match the jobs, the skills, our skills and competencies, among others. So for a labor surplus country like us, This would significantly help our job seekers to find again to find job in a fastest and efficient manner. So I am sure some of us has tried to serve and seek jobs via online job facilitation intermediaries. So this morning, we will explore and learn the operations of digital employment intermediaries as business models. What exactly is the nature of their business activities, their track record in terms of placement of job seekers, also with data privacy, how do they safeguard the data information of our job seekers, and how are they different from a typical recruitment agency that have online presence, and as well as the challenges and opportunities facing the sector in the context of a regulatory framework governing recruitment and placement agencies. Okay. So, to shed light on these learning points, we are again fortunate to have with us um, top caliber resource speakers coming from this growing industry. The co founder and CEO of Caliber.com, Mr. Paul Rivera, and the president and CEO of Recruit Day, Mr. Joel Garcia. At this point, I thank our speakers for their presence in today's webinars, and to our participants, may this be a fruitful and productive learning session for all of us. Again, good morning. Back to you, Sean.
Thank you so much, Edie Jing. Thank you so much, Edie Jing, for welcoming everyone in this webinar. And now to give us an overview of the webinar, may I call on Mr. Reynerio A. Alba, Chief Labor and Employment Officer of the Advocacy Publications Division. Sir Ray?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Again, this is as a backgrounder. This ILS policy webinar was started. We started this in 2020 at the height of the pandemic, as also as a means for us to transition, despite the limitation of a face-to-face seminars. And since 2020, we have been conducting policy advocacy webinars on labor and employment concerns. And this is, we are already on our third year of doing this webinar series. And we hope everyone is also will benefit from all of these advocacy webinars that the Institute for Labor Studies is doing at the moment. And so in 2020, we started with Revive and Thrive as a means of focusing on the challenges of the pandemic. And then in 2021, we transitioned to the the other concerns, including work from home arrangements. And up to this day, we are still exploring concerns on labor and employment issues, such as this one on digital employment facilities intermediaries, and also other concerns that are arising from the pandemic issues and challenges we are confronting right now. So we hope we'll have a fruitful discussion with our speakers this afternoon. Thank you. Back to you, Sean.
Thank you so much, Sir Ray, for giving an overview of the ILS webinar series. So now let's proceed to the presentation proper. For our first presentation, Paul is currently the co-CEO and co-founder of Caliber, a recruitment technology company that, under his leadership, served more than 20,000 companies and 6 million job seekers across Southeast Asia. He is also a co-founder and board director of other promising startups such as Maria Health, My Kuya, and Remedy. Before starting his companies in the Philippines, Paul was at Google in San Francisco. Paul is a serial entrepreneur recognized by global organizations such as the World Economic Forum and Endeavor. And Caliber was recently selected as a part of the Forbes 100 companies to watch in Asia in 2021. Help me welcome on our virtual stage Mr. Paul Rivera, co-founder and chief executive officer of Caliber.
Thank you, Sean. Can everyone hear me okay? Is audio okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. So thank you for having me this morning. Let me just get my screen ready. So thank you to Dole and ILS for this invitation this morning to allow us, I guess, to share our learnings, our insights in the local labor market, and how we have been leveraging technology over the last 8 to 9 years to link jobs and job seekers. So I don't need to go into too much detail here because Sean did such a great job with the introduction. But very briefly, again, my name is Paul Rivera. I was born in the Philippines. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. Have spent most of my career, if not all of my career, either in the technology industry, in the startup industry, or the outsourcing / talent industry. And I like to say that that is really the industry that I work in, is the talent industry. It's not the showbiz one. It's the talent that really helps move our businesses and our economies. So Caliber is a global technology company, and our aim is to leverage technology to be able to bridge talent and opportunity. Talent may be anywhere in the Philippines. The opportunities may be in the Philippines. They may be outside of the Philippines. We want to be the best at that so that we can enable these individuals to become the greatest version of themselves. Caliber is a talent platform. We are a talent marketplace. What that means is we have our own database of talents, over 6 million globally. We're still adding over 100,000 new job seekers per month to our platforms. We have processed over 500,000 job applications every month, and that just continues to grow monthly, and process millions of conversations between recruiters and job seekers. So over the years, we feel we have grown to become an integral player in the local recruitment and talent ecosystem. Caliber's ecosystem is comprised of a wide variety of partners that ultimately work with Caliber to enable candidates to find the most relevant opportunities. These partners include social media platforms like Google, LinkedIn. It includes job boards, including LinkedIn's job board, but other job boards like Indeed, Trovit. Partners in government, such as the city of Quezon City. Partners at schools, obviously partner companies. And what these partnerships enable our clients, which are the companies, to have is if they use Caliber, their job can be distributed to all of these partners instantly. So this is what we mean by an ecosystem. Like that job on Caliber, it will also appear on LinkedIn and Google automatically. They just have to use Caliber. It can automatically appear on their company career website. So this is, I think, an important visual that demonstrates the leverage technology can create that allows jobs and job seekers to be linked wherever they are spending their time on the internet. We work with local companies, regional companies, multinational companies to hire top talent. And increasingly, we also work with global companies who are building remote teams in the Philippines. I started my career back in the Philippines in the outsourcing industry, where you have big office buildings, companies like Accenture, Teleperformance. That has really been outsourcing for the last 20 years. Outsourcing is no longer called outsourcing, it's now called remote teams. And rather than working in a big building in BGC or in downtown Cebu, they're working from home for companies all over the world. So Filipino talent is highly desired globally, and we see this as a massive opportunity for Filipino talent to maximize their skills as well as their earning opportunities. Oops. So what problem is Caliber trying to solve today? The problem, has evolved quite a bit, but it's always focused on linking talent to opportunity. And I think increasingly that mission has focused on making sure we're linking talent not just to Filipino opportunities, but to global opportunities. What we've also learned, and I think what we've also seen with the pandemic is the pandemic was a catalyst for digital technology adoption. Everyone uses Gcash, Paymaya, we shop online, we use apps for our day-to-day lives, and that has also penetrated our work lives, where digital technologies like Caliber are leveraged for more automation, and digital technologies enable a new way that people want to work, which is to work remotely, to work from home. So I think that the last 10 years of recruitment has been digital, and the future will remain digital. So what do platforms like Caliber mean for job hunting in this digital age? Our technologies leverage AI as a tool to help speed up the hiring process so that a recruiter can see a more relevant applicant faster. An applicant can be connected to the most relevant job faster. We use technology to ensure opportunities around the world are visible. Technology is now used from in a recruitment perspective for marketing, also called employer branding. And so platforms like Caliber can be used to promote, educate potential candidates about your brand. And technology also enables recruiting decisions to be backed by data. For job seekers, what we've seen and what we've seen through partners like the ADB is that digital skills are essential. They're as essential as English. They're as essential as being able to do basic math. The languages of business today really have digital fluency at its core. So that's important for job seekers. And I think for job seekers, particularly in the white collar sector, they have already been fluent in this space. The most in-demand jobs that we've seen continue to be in the IT sector, and a little bit on the business sector. These are engineers, web developers, um, anyone that works with data. And then on the business side, sales is always important, accounting is always important, and the administrative back office folks continue to be highly sought after. For recruiters, most of them that have been surveyed mentioned that using an applicant tracking system allows them to speed up their time to hire. And that's important because an applicant tracking system is not your email inbox or is not an Excel spreadsheet. It really has to be a platform. Caliber has an ATS that is integrated into your recruitment experience. Another important aspect for recruiters, and I think there's a lot of people who this is going to be relevant for, mobile is how people find jobs. It's how people discover jobs. And so you want to make sure jobs are mobile optimized. So what are some of the challenges faced? One challenge employers face is they haven't invested enough in communicating their employer brand to candidates. Just like you may research a candidate who has applied to you, you check out their LinkedIn, you check out their Facebook, you see what they're posting on Instagram. Candidates do the same for the job or the employer. They want to see if their LinkedIn is up to date. They want to see what people say about that company. They want to see the employer reviews. So challenges that recruiters face start with having a lack of a employer branding strategy. Another challenge is only focusing on candidates in their local region. I think LinkedIn recently had a survey that 14% of their jobs on LinkedIn are remote, but 50% of the jobs that received applications were for remote jobs, meaning people want to work remotely. So if you're not changing your paradigm, evolving your paradigm to connect with talent outside of your local vicinity, that's going to be a challenge you face. A reluctance to use a system, an ATS, or technology that helps you screen creates a poor candidate experience that lets good candidates walk away because they are treated like every other candidate. So recruiters that are reluctant to leverage systems and technology will also face a challenge because their competitors are using systems and technology. Blue-collar workers can find it difficult to work with online job platforms because they may not have the right technical skills. They don't know how to access a computer. They may not have the right phone. So if you're looking for blue-collar, it's hard because your job may be online, but the people you're trying to recruit may not be online. Another one is the way companies seem to be built today is global and remote from day one. And companies today, particularly the companies that we work with people from all over the world, sometimes in different time zones, sometimes with different languages. And having a workforce that is aligned, that is unified, even when they're remote, is a new challenge that has emerged post-pandemic. There's a Telecommuting Act that was implemented primarily to solve, not primarily, but to help solve some of the traffic and transportation issues. And It's unfair for an employer to treat a remote employee differently. They are equal, and there's a law in place. So I think making sure employers are aware that this is in place and the rules and regulations mean that they're treated just like someone in the office. So how do you find the right match in the digital age? Because ultimately that's what it's about, finding the right match. For Caliber, we leverage AI to help you hire, and this AI has now been trained off of millions of applications, probably over 1 million people plus that have been successfully hired. And so AI is only as good as its data, and I think we have strong data connected to outcomes. Does that data lead to a hire or a lack of a hire? So the way that we help link jobs and job seekers is through technology, one of which is AI. Another one is a very powerful search of a resume where we structure all of our data to make it easy to sort, sift, and filter through dozens, hundreds, thousands of applications instantly. Assessments are integrated into the job application experience and can be added as another mechanism to filter candidates who have applied based on their assessment performance. And we have a suite of assessments you can use so that you can not just get their application, you can begin to see their skills even before you've met them. An interviewer schedule that's built in to make sure interviews are tracked and everyone stays aligned and on time. This is often one of the most tedious parts of the recruitment process is this interview back and forth, and having an interview scheduler streamlines that whole experience. With Caliber, we make it very easy to chat with the employer, and they can chat with their employer via email, via their account, via their mobile phone. And a lot of that chat allows for faster coordination between candidate and employer. And really, we think about these things from, can we create the best experience? And part of having that best experience is allowing the right people to connect to the right jobs as quickly as possible. So in the digital age, you don't have to travel far to find high quality candidates. A platform like Caliber can really help you do that. So thank you very much for the invitation this morning. I hope that was an insightful presentation, and thank you again.
Thank you for shedding light on where we are at now, digitally in terms of job facilitation and how Caliber has been, bridging the gap in the employment situation of the country. And that branding strategy is as important as adapting to technology. Thank you, Paul. We are very grateful to you for gracing our event, our webinar today. We look forward to more collaborations with Caliber in the future. Thank you. For our second presentation, we have Joel, who graduated from the Ateneo de Manila University in 2003 with a bachelor's degree in Management Information Systems. He has built his career in project management for almost 15 years, successfully delivering IT projects for a telecommunications company, IT consulting firms, and startups before founding Recruit Day in 2017. Together with his team, they grew Recruit Day from a simple jobs portal to become one of the leading IT recruitment platforms in the Philippines today. Help me welcome on our virtual stage, Mr. Joel Garcia, President and Chief Executive Officer of RecruitDay.com. The virtual stage is yours, Joel.
Thank you, Sean, for that introduction. Um, is my voice clear, audio clear?
Very,
Marianne?
very much.
All right, great. Thank you, thank you. Let me share my screen now. There. Can you please confirm you can see it? Yeah. Good. All right. Yeah. Good morning, guys. Everyone, and thank you again to Sean and the rest of the Dole ILS team for having me here and share my the model that we're doing now with Recruite and some insights, hopefully to improve the labor and employment, especially the jobs facilitation and matching in our country. Um, we are Recruite, so we're PEA accredited recruitment company. We are a private employment agency registered under Dole, specializing in IT recruitment. So when we say IT talents, these are the people whose primary work falls in one of these functional areas of IT, software and applications, meaning those people who are called developers, programmers, software engineers, etc. Another function is the IT security, those who secure the IT infrastructure, data and AI infrastructure, IT infrastructure, and CRM and ERP, and projects and governance. So all the roles belonging to all the people working for these within these functions, we treat them as, or we call them as IT talents, and that's our main focus at Recruite. At the core of our business is our recruiting platform, recruite.com. The recruiting platform has two main components. So very very similar to an e-commerce platform like Lazada or Shopee, where again we have two audiences or two targets, the product and the buyer. And a recruitment platform, or in the jobs platform, we have two components as well. We have the jobs and the talents, and the way we manage all these interactions, applications, etc., is through the platform. For jobs, we talk to partner companies. They send us their requirements, or they share with us their requirements. We sit down and review the requirements to make sure that everything's easily understood, and when it's done, we publish it on our platform. On the other side of the fence, we have the talents. These are the IT talents looking for jobs. So they go to our platform, they search for jobs specific to their functional area, and when they're interested to apply, they click on apply button, they upload their resume, they answer a couple of screening questions, and that feeds into our internal recruitment process, where they will be screened, based on their profile and qualifications, and screen them based or against the job requirements that the requirements of the jobs that they apply to. And when they pass all the qualifications or screening questions, we endorse them, or we introduce them to clients for further interview. And if the client or the partner companies decide, okay, there's a perfect match, then they hire the candidate through our platform. Um, Also, part of our platform is an applicant tracking system, or an ATS, custom built to our needs. It helps us manage the whole recruitment process internally. How many candidates applied to jobs, which jobs are currently still active, or and at what stage in the job process or hiring process a candidate is at. And we have a full visibility of that process, of that entire recruitment process, through our ATS. And also the applicant tracking system provides us data and analytics about the job and the talent, which provides us insights and trends. like at a specific time, or um, what roles are currently in demand. Do we have enough candidates in our talent pool to fill in those demands? What's the composition of our talent pool? Which functional areas, um, what pool do we need to grow more, um, and what pool do we have surplus? It also gives us market insights on the salary ranges for a specific role, how much are companies willing to pay for, in terms of salary. And on the other side, we also have analytics and insights on what the candidates are actually looking for in terms of salary, in terms of benefits, preferences. What are the is it what are the top benefits they actually look for in a company? Is it remote work? Is it HMO, etc.? And yeah, we have that full visibility in our data, and that with those data, we have better understanding of the market, the talents, the gaps, which helps us make better decisions on like what programs or campaigns to run, and what features to build or improve in our platform. As a recruitment firm, one of the key factors that makes us successful in our field is the quality of our talent pool, and we make sure that we continuously build and grow this pool. How do we do that? We attract talents, we find talents, and we build talents. Attracting talent. So there are actually two types of candidates or job seekers. There's the active job seeker and the passive job seeker. Active job seekers are those who are actively exploring, actively looking for jobs day in, day out. They go to job portals like Caliber, Recruit Day. They go to social media to look for jobs and apply to those jobs. Whereas the passive job seekers are those who are not actually exploring. They're contented with their current job, but if you present the job to them, an opportunity to them, they might get interested to apply. The mix is around 30-70. 30% of our of the job seeker market are active job seekers, while the 70% belong to the passive job seekers. And when we attract talents, we make sure that we target both active and passive candidates in our campaign. So how they do that? First, we have to understand the profile of our talents who we're trying to attract. In our case, these are the IT professionals, right? So when we publish articles, blogs, news updates, we have to think about what topics they're interested in. Because if it doesn't, if it's not relevant to their interest, then hindi nila papansinin, di ba? So the first our aim is really catch their eyes through a very interesting topic, or a very catchy post on our Facebook page or LinkedIn page. We have to think about what words to use, what pictures or videos that will catch their attention, and we even hold community socials. These are online events that we do every week that targets IT professionals. We invite speakers to talk about a specific technology and a topic that we think the IT professionals would be interested in listening to. So these are the when running pre-pandemic, we were doing that face to face, but it's become much easier now when during the pandemic and post-pandemic because of these technologies like Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, etc. And the end goal basically is to drive these IT professionals, the passive candidates, to our platform and become part of our talent pool. Second one, finding talent. So we built our database, our talent pool around the IT professionals, when a partner company would want to approaches us and ask us to for help in looking for or finding and recruiting IT talents. The first thing we do is we check our talent pool, our internal database. So with using our custom built applicant tracking system, we're able to do that in a short amount of time because of advancement in technologies like AI and big data. We're able to um, search and find these talents within our pool very quickly. And the second one, which is one of the most successful ways in Recruit Day, when successful ways of building our database is through referrals. So we find talents in the network of our talent pool. So referral recruitment is basically a recruitment method where you invite people to refer their friends to job positions of your company or a specific job opportunity, usually in return or in exchange of rewards. And it's been one of the top sources of hires globally, right? And enterprises or businesses, primarily because first the audience is targeted. So if your team, for example, your company or your talent pool, majority of your talent pool are in the IT industry. So most likely people in their social network or professional network like LinkedIn also belong in that industry, in the IT industry, because around 50% if I'm an IT professional, around 40-50% of my connections also belong in the IT industry. And these are the connections that you build through your career, like a teammate, a former boss, a colleague, a partner, probably a client, or can go way back in college. Could be your org mate and computer science, whatever. So the point is, these network or the network of these people could be providing you the candidate that you need for your partner clients, or in our case, for our partner clients. And we motivate people or invite people to tap into this untapped pool of passive candidates in their network to apply to our jobs or jobs of our partner clients. And we reward them a reward fee when their referral gets hired. Um, the good thing about this is that's the first one. The second one is the usually the referrals that are coming in from this recruitment method are quality referrals, quality candidates. So there's a good chance that the candidates that they're introducing to you fit the job description, because in a way there's a screening process happening in that transaction referrals. They don't People wouldn't refer their friends if they think that their friend is not does not fit the qualifications. So in a way there's a vetting process happening there, hence there's a greater chance that the quality of the referral is high. Now through the platform, through Recruit Day, our talent pool can just visit our site. Actually, anyone can visit our site or our platform, check the jobs, and if you know anyone, an IT professional, or if you know anyone who might be a good fit for a job, just click refer and earn. We made the process really simple. It's like as if you've read a very interesting article, or you saw a video and you want to share it on your social media or your Facebook account, Twitter, etc. It's that easy. You click refer and earn. and the system generates a unique referral link which you can share on your social media. So people in your network, hopefully the IT IT people, or the ones that are really the ones that really match the job qualification, would see that post and um, get encouraged, or get interested to apply to that job position. um, so yeah, that's basically, referrals has been our top source of candidates. Around 40-45% of our talent pool are coming from referrals, because of this feature that we have in our platform. Excuse me. And lastly, building talent. So we all know that there's a uh, what they call tech talent shortage, or war for tech talents, right? And come probably 5-8 years from now, if we don't do anything, we'll run out of supply. We'll run out of IT talents here in the country. So at Recruit Day, what we do is, we don't just find and match talents. We also help build talents. That's why we that was last year, we started partnering with training providers offering IT courses and IT boot camps. We also collaborate with communities and support them in their upskilling programs. And after the candidates complete the course or the boot camp, we invite them for screening. We help them prepare for interviews, and we introduce them to our partner companies. So this program and these courses are open to anyone. If you're a career shifter, you want to move career to IT, or you're a starter, you don't know how to start or where to start, you can sign up to our program, and we'll guide you through your journey, towards your advancing your IT career. So this is a really great opportunity for everyone, given that the talent market or the competition for tech talents is really tough nowadays. I'll talk more about that in the next few slides. But with this program, hopefully we can help build the capability of IT, or IT capability of Filipinos, and eventually, we will be known. The Philippines will be known for world class, highly capable, and hardworking IT talents. So I mentioned earlier this is one of the challenges that we're encountering now. There's really a shortage of tech talents in our country. There's a study that by 2030 there will be a global shortage of more than 85 million tech workers, and majority of that demand is coming from U.S. and China. And this shortage is accelerated by the pandemic, because during the pandemic, most of the businesses were forced to transform digitally. Otherwise, they will fail, or they will die. The business will die. If you're selling products, because of the pandemic, lockdown, etc., you're forced to build your storefront, make your products available in e-commerce. The communication, you cannot meet face to face, so there's teleconferencing tools or video conferencing tools like Teams, Zoom, etc. The paperworks, you can't access it because of the lockdown, so you have to put it somewhere where it can be accessed anytime, anywhere, which is the cloud. So all these needs were force the businesses to transform digitally. And by transforming digitally, companies would need to augment their teams with IT professionals to take care of these assets, take care and manage these assets. Add to that, a lot of global consulting companies are also looking at the Philippines as a site to build their global delivery centers and build the IT capability in here in the Philippines because of the quality of talents, and second, the cost of labor, which is relatively lower compared to other markets in Southeast Asia. So that makes the competition for local talents very tough. So it's not just the local businesses competing against each other for local talents. There's also foreign businesses looking at the Filipino talents for their growth plans. And probably the this is going to be my last slide. No, the labor and employment policy we can look at is a massive or a nationwide upskilling program specifically to upskill our workforce in the IT space. In preparation for that for that huge demand the next couple of years. And another program or policy that we can uh, propose is we might want to review how we match the skills, the demand from the market versus the the skills of the supply from universities, from government funded training programs or training centers. I still think, and I'm confident that there's still a lot of things that we can do there to hopefully bridge the gap between the market and the current supply, rather than the gap getting bigger and bigger by the year. So that's it. Thank you so much again for having me here, and for giving me the opportunity to share our model and our insights.
All right. Thank you, Joel. Please do stay as we are about to proceed with the open forum.
Okay, sure.
Right. So, I mean, I also invite on virtual stage Sir Ray Alba of the Advocacy and Publication Division. Please join us in the open forum, sir. Unfortunately, Sir Paul of Caliber wouldn't be able to join us in the open forum. Nonetheless, if our viewers have questions directed to Paul, please do send them in, and we will relay them to Caliber later on. Anyhow, Joel, it has been a while kasi we have been
Sorry,
meron
Paul is
tayong
there. He can stay for the next 15 minutes, so maybe we can invite him over.
Oh yeah. Is Sir Paul still in the platform? Can we Oh, there you go.
Uh,
Hi Sir Paul.
hey,
Right.
Paul.
Si Sir Joel, it has been a while, no? Kasi we have met a couple of times in one of the policy consultations of the department. Caliber has also was also there during the policy consultations, no? Conducted by the Bureau of Local Employment, or I think it was during the Dolly Research Conference. I'm not quite sure. That is when I presented my paper last year, yung regulatory impact analysis on the proposed policy of the department on digital labor market intermediaries. Nonetheless, we have had conducted several policy consultations on this. I think for our first question, this is directed to Sir Joel of Recruit Day. How do you differ from a typical private employment agency, and what was the thought process when you decided to shift from being a digital labor market intermediary to a private employment agency, digital at that? No, what was the thought process behind that decision?
Right. It's the first one is basically the quality. You know, we've been trying to find ways to improve the quality of the matches between the candidates and the job. No matter how much data we have to help that, there's still candidates that nakakalusot, di ba? And at the end of the day, we have to take a look at what the employers need. They need the candidates here and now. They don't have enough time to sift through resumes. They if they need all the help that they can get to shorten that process, and that's where we come in. And compared to other pay, I'm not sure how other payers are doing it, right? I mentioned that we leverage on our platform to build our pool and make sure that the quality we provide the quality talents to our
Right.
partner companies.
Right. Because typically, yung ating usual private employment agencies that are licensed by the department, they do face-to-face recruitment activities, right? So being a tech firm and having your services be available digitally, typically yun yung line that separates you from a traditional pay. Ano? I think I would also ask the same question to Caliber. I know for a fact that Caliber has been engaged and you were involved in some of our policy consultations pertaining to the proposed policy on the regulation of digital labor market intermediaries. Are you aware of that, Sir Paul?
Yes, a bit.
A bit, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the proposed, thoughts on the policy consultations being conducted by the department revolving around the regulatory space on digital labor market intermediaries?
Yeah, you know, I think ultimately the way that I look at that problem is, what problem is the regulation trying to solve, right? Is it a problem of job seeker and making sure that they are applying to credible jobs, right? To credible companies. Um, is it a problem on the employer side, where you have fake job seekers? I don't know, right? Or is it sometimes um, a problem on maybe the business side, where there are other industries that may feel threatened by the emergence of technologies like Recruit Day has created, like what Caliber has created, and really not just technology but innovation, right? We are both innovating in this space, and if you're asking for my thoughts, I think you don't want to necessarily over-regulate innovation. You want to enable it. You want to support it. If anything, you want to put some guide rules on how to ensure players, whether they're the user, the job seeker, the employer, some rules. One example is just making sure your jobs are moderated, right? There's some form of filtering of who's applying, and we do that at Caliber. We're always asking, like, for example, for SEC, we're asking to make sure that this is a legitimate company. So I think rules around that would be useful, but in general, having seen what's happened in Silicon Valley, I think government wants to be learners, supporters, enablers of innovation.
Thank you, Paul. I'd like to drill down on that a bit. One of the main reasons why the government is is regulating private employment agencies, or trying to regulate private recruitment and placement of workers, is the proliferation of trafficking of workers under the pretext of recruitment. And another is the prevalence of dubious job postings, that are in fact non-existent. With Recruit Day and Caliber, how do you ensure that your platform, your business model, prevents trafficking of workers and prevents malicious intents to recruit job seekers? Do you have safety measures? Let's start. Let's hear it from Sir Paul first.
Sure. You know, so there are platforms that are completely self-service, right? So one example might be LinkedIn. Um, um, there are online places like, you can use Facebook Jobs that's completely self-service. So there are platforms that are self-service, and then there are platforms like Caliber where it is self-service for the job seeker. Any job seeker can apply, create an account on their own, but it's not self-service for the employer. Meaning every employer speaks with an account executive on our side. We try to understand their recruitment objectives, their company, and if our platform can be helpful for them. And after we figure out the commercials, then we vet that company, asking for information to make sure that they're a company that's registered in the Philippines, that they're registered with the BIR, as like just two examples. And then once they are, have been vetted, then every job that gets on Caliber is manually screened both by a human as well as by AI. So every job typically will take anywhere from 6 up to 24 hours before it gets posted live on our platform. And that filtering and curation by us, I think, means we have high quality vetted opportunities, right? Can I guarantee that no one can sneak through? I think if someone really wanted to do something nefarious on any platform, they could do it. But I think we have enough safety mechanisms, and I think enough track record now over the last 9 years where we haven't had any incidences on the job seeker or employer side. But it is, a very real problem in the Philippines. It's terrible and it's sad when you hear stories of people, getting ripped off, getting trafficked, right? I think one thing that the government should look at that's very different from a traditional versus digital perspective is particularly if for people who are seeking jobs outside the Philippines, um,
Right.
we don't charge the job seeker anything, right?
Right.
I know many agencies will charge the employer as well as the job seeker a fee, right? And I can understand in that model why regulation may make sense, right? Because of it's a transaction where both sides are having to pay. For us, everything we do for the job seeker, I believe everything Recruit Day does for the job seeker is free, right? So I think that's what we do, right? To limit bad behavior, police bad behavior, and I think that's also a difference in terms of maybe why regulation should be looked at differently because of the type of transactions that are happening on our platform. We're not we're not an intermediary, per se, like an agency. We're a platform that links and connects two parties together.
Thank you so much, Paul. I'm happy to hear that there are safety measures in place at Caliber to protect workers' rights, job seekers' rights for that matter. Um, and let's also hear it from Sir Joel of Recruiting. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, same with Caliber, we vet the employers. Even before we enter into an agreement with them, we make sure we understand their business, if it fits our model, and if we ask for their legal documents like SEC, just to make sure or verify that they're a real company here in the Philippines. And on the job side, as mentioned earlier, they send us they share their requirements, and then we review the requirements and we schedule a calibration meeting with them to make sure we define the boundaries, the specifications of the job, and we also verify if it's actually a real vacancy in their organization, right? So that's how we ensure safety or authenticity of the jobs. On the we also constantly engage with our candidates, not just during the hiring process but even post hiring process. So we reach out to them 1 month, 3 months, 6 months after getting hired to get some feedback on the company. So that will help us decide or if there is something that the company is something we want to pursue the partnership with.
All right, thank you, Sir Joel. I like
Fortunately,
the feedback
we haven't
mechanism.
had any. Fortunately, we haven't had any partner company na are doing
I'm happy to hear that, sir.
illegal transactions. Yeah.
Hopefully wala din po in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sir Paul and Sir Joel. At this juncture, Sir Paul, I know that you are a very you have other scheduled meetings, and we would like to thank you for joining us in our webinar today. We hope that we could do more collaborations in the future, sir. At this point, we are letting you go. Thank you, Sir Paul.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Joel. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ray. Okay. Bye, guys.
You.
Bye, Paul. Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
All right. So Ray, do we have questions from our participants?
Yes, as a kind of in relation to what has been discussed on social protection as well for job seekers online. I think this is a in connection with that. Does digital recruitment take the heart or human touch intentionality of human resource management? I think that's to do with how you see the job seekers and how they fit into the specific cultures of an office and see them as a potential contributor to the growth of the companies where you match them with. Do you, since this is an online application, how does that play into this kind of recruitment online?
Yeah, in our case, there's still the human touch. We have that after they apply, there's a screening process. So that's the human interaction. We do phone screening, we do video screening with the candidate before we introduce them to our partner companies. The reason for that is we're just not looking at the technical or the hard skills, the fit or the match in the hard skills. We also look at the soft skills, how the person will fit the culture of the company. Because most of the time, doon nagkakatalo eh. The candidate is really good, but he doesn't seem to fit the culture of the company, which is um, vibrant, lively, collaboration, etc. So it's not just about the skills. I mean, the technical or the hard skills. So it's important that we plug in that human touch. So we put back the human in the human resource process in this in recruitment to ensure that there's a real a great match between the job seeker and the job.
Sir Joel, were there instances a job seeker that was hired specifically for a specific company may nagreklamo ba after na hindi ako okay with the company you match me with or after?
There are instances because you only get to know the actual fit post hiring, di ba? When you're applying to job, you put your best foot forward. But when once you're hired, doon na lumalabas. So there are instances, and we try to manage that. We try to understand what the that's why we put some controls in our process to make sure that we don't reach that point na they're already hired only to realize I don't belong to this company or vice versa.
So
So
you do
right,
not have that experience. You have
we
not
have we have a
encountered.
couple, we have a couple, yeah. So
How
we
how did you
once a
maintain
month.
that kind of?
I'm sorry.
How did you mediate or
Yeah, so
resolve that
we
kind of?
those are valid. They have valid reasons. Both the employer side and then the candidate. It's just not a good fit. I realize it's just not a good fit. So we look for another candidate to fill in the position, and for that candidate who resigned, we helped him find another company that would really match his preferences in terms of like the benefits, the work arrangement, the work environment, the culture, etc.
But what how about the feedback system to the company or parang hindi maganda
Yeah, we,
ang
we we
feedback?
keep the yeah we share with them the feedback, um, so they can improve their processes, their the structure, whatever it is that the candidate shared with us, we share it with the company. That's part of the relationship, the partnership that we have with the employers.
Okay. Another question here is on how do you avoid hiring discriminations? Have you encountered that? Um,
How do platforms avoid hiring discrimination?
how
Yeah,
how does this platform, avoid
yeah,
hiring
we don't.
discrimination?
Well, in our
Ensure that
case,
there's no hiring discrimination. Yes.
yes.
Go ahead, sir.
So in our case, we review the jobs, so we make sure that there are no requirements there that will um, practice discrimination. Because I've seen jobs in social media na strictly female, at least 5'3", very or not older than 24 years old, etc. So those are already discriminating, diba? So we make sure that our jobs, that the jobs that we publish don't have those requirements, and we share that information to our clients as well if they prefer specific, if they have preferences on the candidate. On the when applying for a job, we don't ask for their birthday, their age, their gender. We don't ask for that. We don't ask for their ethnicity, their religion. So because or some disabilities, because that could those information shouldn't be a reason why an employer would not hire the candidate. Paglalaban namin yun as the recruiter.
Thank you, Sir Joel. Actually, di ba, syempre, we also have the Anti-Age Discrimination in Employment Act. So
Yep.
I'm really happy to hear that Recruit Day is also doing the same. No, you are
Mhm.
preventing discrimination of job seekers. We do have one last question. I believe this is the last question, Sir Ray. Or do we have other questions from our participants? We have none.
Yes, I think that's the last question.
All right. So I have one more question. Um, there are so many models and emerging practices of platforms like yours. Actually, nakita natin yung difference no, ng Recruit Day more. You have other services that others do not have. What do you think the government should do to harness the potential of this industry? And what kind of government support do industry players like you need to prosper in this field? Sir Joel.
Oh, thank you, Sean, for that question. Actually, that question has been asked years ago, di ba, when we were talking about intermediaries. What can we do to, how can we work together to support each other? I think it's around, the fact, like what Paul said, let's be open to technology. Let's not limit the technology. Innovation is there. It can, and it's very fast. Technology advances really fast nowadays. Yesterday we were just talking about internet. Now we're talking about metaverse, right? Blockchain, etc. And players technology players or recruitment technology companies like Recruit Day and Caliber are looking at these advancement and find ways to leverage that technology to improve the overall recruitment process. So um, yeah, while the policies that we have, the government are very outdated, and I really appreciate you guys trying to update and rewrite or revise the law. Let's make it. I strongly recommend it. Let's make it more welcoming rather than restrictive. So we understand the need for regulations, and we also support that 100%. We want to protect our job seekers, our employers as well. Um, but with the emergence of technology, we don't know where this will bring us next year or 10 years from now. So, yeah.
Actually, sir, no, there should be the right kind of regulation for the right subjects, right? So we have digital labor market intermediaries, we
Yeah,
also
yeah.
have digital private employment agencies, and then we have the traditional private employment agencies. I believe, sir, last one question, may pahabol tayo,
Sorry,
sir.
just to add that,
Yes,
just to
sir,
add
yes,
to
sir,
that,
go ahead.
we've also may emerging workforce na, like what Paul mentioned earlier, the remote workers. Na foreign companies are, 'di ba, are recruiting Filipino workers pero hindi na dumadaan sa POA because they're working remotely. They're based here but their work is abroad. So, how fast these changes um, are getting in the situation. So we have to be open to these changes. We cannot restrict.
Yeah, those are the platform workers or in the gig economy. So Ray, we have one last question, pahabol.
Yes, may pahabol. This is from our own Deputy Executive Director, Ma'am Grace, who will be joining us in a bit, after this open forum. Sir Joel, ang tanong, since you started din naman this online platform employment facilitation, so may nakita ka po ba what is the direction now of the online platform job platform sector na pagbabago? Where is it going? And where is growth seen in terms of availability of skills and demand? And three, is full AI its future? And fourth, if not, anong particular aspects lang?
Right. Daming tanong, apat yun Teka lang.
Yeah,
the
again, so
first
what
one
is
is,
the direction now?
okay,
So for
let's
the
just
job platform sector.
it's um yeah, as mentioned, there are emerging technologies like there's metaverse, diba? It could replace the face-to-face job fair. We've tried that earlier this year. We've launched our metaverse job career event, and it was very successful. Um, that could disrupt the current policies that we have when running job fairs, diba? And at the end of the day, it's there's a need to match jobs and job seekers, and we in the industry, recruitment industry, try our best to leverage on the technology to address that need and bridge the gap. Sa supply and demand naman, there are emerging businesses na they offer trainings, upskilling opportunities, very similar to what Tesla's offering, to what the ICT is offering, um, because they see the demand in the near future for such skills, and the supply right now isn't enough to fill those or to address those demands. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, go ahead, Sean.
Thank you so much, Sir Ray. Thank you so much, Sir Joel. Siguro at this point, I'd just like to give an opportunity to Sir Joel. No, please to invite everyone to avail of to try and check Recruit Day and
Yes,
avail of the
yes.
services of Recruit Day.
Thank you, Sean. So if you're We're recruiting. We're an IT recruitment firm. We have IT careers for everyone. As mentioned kanina, we have so much demand. The supply can't keep up. So if you know anyone who's looking for a job, refer them. Well, we can give you a referral reward for when they get hired. We give between 5,000 to 20,000 for every successful referral. So help them find a job, and it's a win-win situation. um, and if you or someone you know is thinking of shifting to this industry, we can support you. Just go to our website. We have programs, upskilling programs. We have community events, so you can understand the industry and decide what career path to take in IT. We will be your tech career sidekick at recruiting. Thank you, Sean.
Thank,
Thank you, Suri.
thank you,
Um,
sir.
and thank
Thank
you.
you, Sir
Thanks,
Joel.
Sir Joel.
At this juncture, sir, I would like to call on our Deputy Executive Director, Attorney Mary Grace L. Riguer Teodosio, to award our Certificate of Appreciation to our resource speakers. Didi Grace. Deputy Executive Director, Attorney Mary Grace L. Riguer Teodosio, to award our Certificate of Appreciation to our resource speakers. Didi Grace.
Hi, Shans. Hi, everyone. Okay, can I read the certificate? Can I have a copy? Meron lang. Okay, sige. Thank you, Sir Joel, for participating and contributing and giving your insights, and sharing them to everyone in this webinar. So we are awarding the certificate of appreciation to you and to Mr. Paul Rivera for your generosity. And we hope to see you in our future events. So thank you again.
We are now at the last portion of the program, and to conclude our activity for today, Didi Grace, may I call you on again to deliver the closing remarks?
Parang wala ko. Paano na lang?
I think we are
Okay.
having a bit. All right, there you go, Didi Grace.
I can't hear myself. Sorry ha. Just a moment. We're trying to fix the audio. Just a couple of seconds.
Sure. While we are waiting for Didi Grace, I'd like also to invite our participants to answer our evaluation form. It will be posted in the Facebook, and we hope that you would answer our evaluation so that we could also improve how we conduct our webinars. So Ray, do you also have a few reminders?
Yes, please. Please reshare. You can reshare this as this is a recorded live stream presentation naman po. So sa mga hindi po natin nakapanood ng mga colleagues at the moment, we can reshare this after this live presentation po. Salamat po. Para mas marami pong makaalam about our itong linking platforms, online platforms, employment facilitation. Tama ba? Yon. Thank you.
All
Can
right.
everyone hear me?
Yes, yes,
I
Didi
can
Grace,
hear
loud and clear.
myself anyway. Okay. Sige, thank you everyone again for participating in this webinar. It's a short webinar, short and sweet, before we go on our individual holiday break. So our heartfelt appreciation to our resource persons, Mr. Paul Rivera of Caliber.com, and of course Mr. Joel Garcia of Recruit Day, no, for being so generous despite and accommodating our invitation despite such a extremely short notice. So we thank you, our resource persons, for your generosity and accommodation. And we thank you, of course, for your insights and sharing them to everyone, especially to us in the government, no, because we are in the business or in charge of um, the legal and policy and regulatory framework for everything that happens in the world of work, for most of the things that happen in the world of work. So we are, of course, interested, and of course, um, we are interested in looking at the way things are being done in online platforms, in online job platforms, and digital intermediary sector. So, based on the discussions of our resource persons and their responses to the questions, um, we see that in a way, although there are similarities to traditional models of job intermediation, there are also unique features that we can see in this sector. No, first, of course, they are heavily invested in technologies because nga, their presence is online. So they are investing and using technology and even high technology using artificial intelligence as a core component of the business model. So that would be one of the unique feature. No? But we still appreciate no, that um, similarly, or like other job intermediaries, we appreciate and recognize the contribution of online job platforms in job facilitation, in addressing and helping address the country's issues in job skills mismatch, as well as contributing to the generation of employment by, of course, linking jobs to job or with job seekers. So we recognize the participation of the private sector, especially in this event. In this context, the job online job platforms in contributing to the employment generation goal of the country. Um, but there are key takeaways as to differences, as we mentioned earlier, and the heavy presence online as well as the heavy use of information technology. We hope to continue the conversations on online job platforms and digital labor intermediaries. So we we will be able to examine whether there is a need for innovation in the policy and regulatory framework, and how we can help promote job creation by supporting the growth of this sector, the online sector, in job skills matching, and without, of course, compromising um, our mandate to or and duty to protect the rights of workers, to protect them from fraudulent activities online, as well as to still advance our agenda in employment promotion and decent work. So with that, we thank you. We thank everyone in participating. We hope to continue the conversations, as I've said earlier, and uh, we hope you can still participate in our future webinars. And thank you so much for the team, ILS teams that or contributed to the organization of this activity. IT, the Advocacy and Publication Division of the Institute for Labor Studies, as well as our main proponent, Mr. Shan Pablico, and the rest of the team of the Employment Research Division. And of course, in behalf of our Executive Director, Jeanette Tanadamo, thank you everyone and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Deputy Executive Director Grace. And that's our wrap. We had a very comprehensive and meaningful presentations from Caliber and Recruit Day. And I hope the webinar was able to provide you snippets of how recruitment is done digitally, in a digital age. Thank you to our resource persons. Thank you to our virtual participants, to our FSL interpreters, and for attending our second to the last webinar in this year. And I am inviting everyone to also attend our last webinar on Monday, focusing on employment of senior citizens. All right, at this point, we conclude this webinar. See you again in the next webinar on Monday. Thank you, good morning, and Merry Christmas.
The battle for Filipinos on employment and labor still continues. along with making new approaches, policies, and administration ideas. The Institute for Labor Studies has been an instrument in the promotion of labor market efficiency, industrial peace, and social justice. Through their assessments and research support, along with their collaboration with our tripartite partners and implementing agencies, the ILS has consistently been a premier think tank advocating for decent work for 35 years. On July 25, 1987, the ILS in its glory was formally established through Executive Order No. 251 in response to the growing need of DOLE for backups on its present and future labor and employment policy recommendations. They've delivered quality, innovative, and comprehensive research to assist policy recommendations on employment and labor situations. The ILS is headed by an executive director and assisted by a deputy executive director and made up of 3 research divisions and 2 supporting divisions. The research strategy of ILS is anchored on the 4 pillars of decent work: employment, social protection, rights at work, and social dialogue. For many years, ILS has continually sustained success in the value of its services through strengthening partnerships and systems while establishing effective, efficient, transparent, and accountable use of resources, making the Institute withstand the test of time. Highlighting the past 6 years, ILS has helped solidify evidence-based decision-making and created more knowledge products in support of DOLE's programs and agenda, in the form of working papers, electronic newsletters, videos, webinars, seminars, and capacity-building events. One of the notable ILS researches is the Bike to Work, a survey on use of bike in the time of COVID-19 pandemic. This is a multi-sectoral engaged policy discussion which aided DOLE in crafting a program for workers to commute to work using bicycles. Other pioneering papers of the Institute include studies on work-from-home arrangements, fair working conditions in the healthcare and digital platform sectors, rapid assessments of employment, and social protection programs for displaced, local, and overseas workers. Until today, ILS continues to study the Philippines' labor and employment situation towards the future of work. ILS continues to be committed to uninterrupted operations anchored to its core values of integrity, excellence, public service, innovation, and compassion. The ILS is also guided by its overarching agenda to protect workers and engage wider communities towards a more robust economic scenario leading to a post-pandemic employment recovery. As the ILS celebrates its 35th anniversary in serving the Filipino people, it continues to be at the forefront of bridging labor and employment research, policy, and practice towards inclusive growth to influence and create more positive and impactful works towards a decent work for all.